Yeah, so it's another week. We're gonna be looking for new opportunities on this coming week. And I'm gonna be starting with Usdchf. Usdchf, it has been bearish all over and over again. So when we look at the current price managed to break the last bullish weekly candle, which this means that price SAP at some point in the future, price doesn't have to close above this selling price. So we expect price to finish this I'm sorry, let me remove this. Yeah, we expect the price to do this correction and come and test this sell side liquidity down here, because this is the only liquidity that's been resting down. So as we know the view on the weekly, let's jump back to the daily. And on the daily, we can see that price didn't manage to break above this zone, which it was a valid supply zone actually. So price pushed back. On the daily actually we have this imbalance down here. This is why I mark this as a liquidity, because this is the third candle that hasn't touched the first candle. So in the middle here we have this imbalance or fair value gap. So I'm not expecting, I mark this liquidity because I wasn't expecting price to sell without sweeping this liquidity. So I was expecting this liquidity to be swept before we see a continuation to the downside. So to this fact, on the next week, on the next week I'm gonna have two views. When I drop to the 4 hour, yeah, yeah, we can see I have two views right here. On the 4 hour, first we have this last candle, which is at the same point where the verbal gap hits. And this is the liquidation. This is the liquidity that we need to see it to be broken. And price just swept it by 1 pips and pushed to the downside. So here I have two views. Actually, we can see multiple things. We might see price push back and break these liquidities and come down, or we might see price come all the way up and continue. So on this pair, I'm gonna be watching for great confirmations. Without any good confirmation, I ain't gonna enter. But as we can see here on the 4 hour chart, in the 4 hour chart, the price managed to break the low. So on the 4 hour, actually, I'm not gonna be looking for selling momentum from this price because I don't like how it is and it's not very, very valid to me. The only valid point that I'm watching over, because as we can see, price came and test this zone right here, which the zone has a favor gap on it, which at some point it's somehow valid. So we might see price will test from this zone and keep on buying to come and test our valid supply here, or till all the way up and keep on going with the selling momentum. So this is my view on Usdchf. We're gonna be waiting for more and good confirmations, but my first target entry is gonna be from here. Stop loss above the zone, above the wicks, and multi P on the sell side liquidity down here, because price must come and test this song. So this is my view on Usdchf. We might be seeing some selling pressure from next week. So let me jump to other pair. Actually, this is Euraud. Let me reduce some of these drawings because they're a bit too much and they yeah. So this is our Euraud, and as we can see, price has been doing things over and over. On the weekly, we see that price tested this zone, this demand zone that had successfully created a bullish impulsive move. So price tested it and started showing bullish momentum. So I'm really expecting to see this buy sell liquidity to be taken. But for the meanwhile, price has been having some choppy movements. And on the weekly, we do see that price. Yeah, on the weekly ain't nothing usual. But when we go on the daily we see that price could manage to break above. So if it's this is the imbalance on the fair value gap on the weekly. I mean on the daily, right? This fair value gap down here. That price needed to sweep these liquidities before keep on going with the continuation. So at the current price move, we see that price could manage to break above and price started showing lower highs. Price started showing lower highs and lower lows, indicating that first. Let me not go that deep. We can see here the price left and fair value gap, but I didn't mark the fair value gap. I just marked the demand zone on it on the lower time frames. But price really managed to leave an imbalance, which price really must balance it and really must sweep this liquidity before yeah before keep on going with this buy trend. So this is why I took this sell trade. This is why I took this sell trade on the last week, which I shared it with my community. I shared the trade with my community, which it was like this. I was expecting at first price. I was waiting for price to break structure. I was really waiting for that breakout structure for me to start looking for selling momentum. So once I had that breakout structure, I had it on here. I started looking for selling momentum here, but unfortunately I missed this trade. So that's where I took this trade after this breakout structure to the downside. And look how price broke massively to the downside. This indicates that this is the only valid supply zone that's gonna take the price to the downside, because this is where the big funds and this is where people keep their money and place so much orders on it. So price couldn't break and close above it because yeah, a lot of people and institutions have their orders out here. That is why my stop loss, if you look at clearly, let me delete this. If you watch clearly, I placed my stop loss above from the zone for our zone. This is because sometimes the market maker tends to push the price all the way to the week just to stop at some stop loss levels that are behind, and that on the left, those stop loss levels that are so tight. This is the reason they come and they sweep them off so that's the true trend to keep on going. That's why I keep my stop loss above from the for 4 hour week, and not only above, I kept like 2 pips above from the weekly because I really expected something like this. I expected price to come and test at the zone because we had some liquidities on the 15 minutes. So when we go much clearer with the chart, what I'm really expecting here is actually this is a sell side liquidity, but I'm not that really sure because the market it's all about probabilities, and I don't wanna I don't wanna target so I don't wanna target the price in a very large move. I just wanna capitalize it. And so my first TP is gonna be on this one, which I'm gonna watch over what price is gonna do while it reach out here. If let's say price reach here and couldn't manage to break the last 4 hour candle, I mean the last lower high candle, then this is gonna mean, oh let me say, if price reach here and start leaving some liquidities to the downside and couldn't manage to break the 4 hour, this is where I'm gonna anticipate this as a liquidity, and I'm gonna be targeting more downside to look for that buy trade. So this is my view on Euraud, and I'm still holding. By the way, I'm still in. I haven't closed even a single trade on it. I'm still expecting more bearish move. So yeah, let's go on another pair. Yeah, this is Nzdusd. I haven't been trading this pair for time. For I've been doing GBP USD, USD for a bit, but let's try check on it. If we start on the monthly, we see that price. Yeah, so we can see that the price. We can start on the monthly. We see that price managed to create the break of structure and leaving this as the first bearish candle that produced this buy trend. So we're expecting price to. So here at the monthly, price is really on the bullish move. Price is on the bullish move, but as you can see, that price didn't manage to tap all the way down. And as we watch closely, price did a correction move and went to test the supply zone up here. So I'm expecting to see more bearish move. I'm expecting to see more bearish move. And on our weekly, lastly, price managed to create uh, a break of structure on the weekly and leaving a supply zone above it. So I'm not expecting, oh, sorry, I'm not expecting to see that. I'm not expecting to see price breaking above this low. I mean, yeah, this low high, because price managed to create a break of structure. So I'm just anticipating this as just a correction to test something above and keep on going to the downtrend. So as we can go to the daily, we can see that price on the daily. I was expecting price to. At first, I have two views. At the first, we have this supply zone above here on the daily, which actually I'm not really gonna be entering at the daily. That's why I refined it to more low time frame, and I got this supply zone up here. So I have two views. The first view is the first view is this. We have this as a liquidity, and we have this imbalance down here. And when we go to the 4 hour, yeah, on the 4 hour we can see that price after price managed to create a breakout structure. After it managed to create a breakout structure, price left this supply zone that I marked it, and I wasn't expecting to see price to close above. So that's what I was watching over, and till the price, I mean, till the week has ended, price hasn't managed to close above. So with this big weak reaction indicating more sellers on the downside. So on NZUSD, I'm not gonna take this entry only if I see this break to the downside, only if I see this break to the structure. After I see this break to the structure, any supply zone on the above is gonna be the supply zone that's gonna push price to the sell side liquidity. So this is my view on NZUSD. So yeah, this is the NZUSD. I'm gonna be, let's go to the other pair. This is NZCAD. NZCAD. Actually I had different views because on the weekly, as we can see, on the weekly price, this was the only first. This was the only first. This was the only first zone that the price actually left it, and price wasn't supposed to break above this. This is what I was expecting, and I was waiting to see what price is gonna do, and this is what price did. If price didn't manage to break above this weekly zone, so I'm expecting more bearish structure till at least to this. I'm expecting more bearish at least to this zone. So I'm gonna be looking for more bearish structure and more bearish momentum from the next week. As we can see here, we have this last surprise zone, and I'm anticipating this as liquidities. That I'm not gonna be looking any buy entries down here because we have this imbalance down here, and we still expect price to fill this imbalance before seeing any signs if it's bullish or keep on bearish. So this is my view. Yeah, so when you go to the 4 hour, I'm not gonna blindly trade this entry because I'm actually not seeing what I want. Though the price tested at the imbalance or fair value gap, because we have this imbalance in the middle, and this as our liquidity that we need to see this being swept before the selling continuation to continue. So this is why I mark this and this as a imbalance. This is my fair value gap. Let me keep that middle line to see its like accuracy. Uh, this is my middle line. So what I'm expecting for the next week, I'm expecting at least, though the real stranger structure, it's on this 4 hour structure. Though we might we might leave some entries on the table because till price to break this structure all down here, there's this other structure that price doesn't have to